Nothing is quite like a sea of golden black-eyed Susans glowing in the midsummer sun. But if you've ever planted these vibrant flowers only to watch them bloom once, struggle, and then completely disappear by next season, you are definitely not alone. Most gardeners treat them like any basic perennial, expecting them to thrive automatically. But they end up disappointed when their plants fade early or fail to come back at all. The reason this happens so often comes down to one simple truth. Black-eyed Susans are widely misunderstood. Many varieties sold at garden centers aren't long-lived perennials at all, but biennials or short-lived species that naturally die off after flower. When you combine that with a few subtle care mistakes, even healthy plants can quickly lose their vigor, succumb to crown rot, or stop producing those bold, golden petals you planted them for in the first place. Here is the good news. Keeping these classic flowers returning stronger every single year isn't difficult. You just need the right approach. Today, we're diving into 11 insider black-eyed Susan secrets that will transform the way you grow them. From simple pruning techniques to crucial planting habits, these practical strategies will keep your garden loaded with massive, brilliant blooms year after year. We're going to count down through each secret, moving from foundational habits to the single most critical trick that guarantees long-term success. Every secret builds on the last. So whether you're starting fresh or trying to save an established patch, you'll have an exact game plan for non-stop color. Secret 11. Choosing between biennial and perennial varieties. The first big secret starts before you even dig a hole in your garden bed. Many gardeners don't realize that black-eyed Susan isn't just one plant. It's a whole group of plants with very different lifespans. If you buy Rudbeckia hirta, you're usually buying an annual or a biennial. It might look gorgeous at the nursery, but its nature is to bloom heavily, drop seed, and die. If you want a dependable, long-term perennial that comes back from its own roots every spring, look specifically for Rudbeckia fulgida, especially the famous cultivar Goldsturm. Knowing the difference on the plant tag saves you from assuming you did something wrong when a short-lived variety naturally fades away. Secret 10. The Midsummer Pruning Trick. Once your black-eyed Susans finish their first massive bloom cycle in early to midsummer, don't just leave those fading flower heads sitting there. While leaving seed heads late in the season has its benefits, trimming them back early in the summer works magic. By clipping off spent blossoms right down to where a fresh leaf stem or new lateral bud is emerging, you stop the plant from wasting valuable energy on seed production. Instead, that energy gets redirected straight back into the root system and forces a secondary wave of fresh, vibrant blooms that can push your flowering season straight through until the first fall frost. Secret 9. The controlled soil moisture balance. While mature black-eyed Susans are known for being drought-tolerant, there is a big difference between surviving a dry spell and producing a wall of brilliant flowers. The secret here is consistent, deep watering during their active growing phase in spring and early summer. If the soil completely dries out while flower buds are forming, the plant will react by shedding buds or shortening its blooming period to preserve energy. Once established, giving them about an inch of water per week, focused directly at the soil level rather than over the leaves, keeps the root zone evenly moist and ensures maximum petal density without triggering foliage diseases. Secret 8. The low nitrogen feeding rule. It's tempting to toss heavy synthetic fertilizer on your flowers in hopes of getting bigger blooms, but with black-eyed Susans, that usually backfires. High nitrogen fertilizers encourage the plant to grow thick, lush foliage and unusually tall, floppy stems, while producing very few flower buds. If you feed them too much nitrogen, you end up with a huge bushy green plant that easily falls over in the wind and barely flowers at all. Instead, skip the heavy commercial fertilizers. A simple top dressing of organic compost in early spring or a light formula higher in phosphorus than nitrogen gives them the precise nutrients they need to build sturdy stems and hundreds of bright, golden blossoms. Secret 7. Strategic airflow spacing. Black-eyed Susans are tough, but they do have one major weakness during humid summer months: powdery mildew. This fungal disease covers the leaves in a dull white powder, turning foliage brown and cutting the blooming season short. The secret to preventing this isn't spraying chemicals, it's proper spacing right from the start. When planting, give each crown at least 18 to 24 inches of breathing room. Good airflow between the plants allows wet leaves to dry quickly after rainfall or morning dew. Keeping that foliage dry creates an environment where powdery mildew can't take hold, ensuring your plants stay healthy and full of green foliage all season long. Secret 6. The Chelsea chop method. If your plants tend to grow too tall, fall over in the wind, or bloom all at once and then stop, this secret technique will change everything. Originating from the Chelsea Flower Show in the UK, the Chelsea chop involves cutting back the stems of your black-eyed Susans by about 1/3 to 1/2 in late spring or early June, just before flower buds form. While it delays your bloom time by a week or two, it forces the plant to branch out branching stems instead of just one main stalk. The result is a much bushier, self-supporting plant covered in up to twice as many flower heads later in the season. Secret 5. The fall division routine. Even true perennial varieties like Rudbeckia fulgida can start to lose their vigor after 3 or 4 years. You might notice the center of the plant dying out while the outer stems become crowded and produce smaller blooms. The secret to keeping a patch thriving indefinitely is dividing the root clumps every 3 to 4 years in early autumn. Dig up the entire root mass, gently split it into smaller clumps using a sharp spade, and replant the healthy outer sections into fresh soil. This simple process instantly rejuvenates the mother plant and gives you free extra plants to spread throughout your garden. Secret 4. Self-seeding management for infinite plants. While dividing perennials is great, letting your plants do the hard work for you is even easier. Toward the end of the season in mid to late autumn, stop deadheading a few of your healthiest flower heads. Leaving those dark, cone-shaped centers intact allows seeds to naturally mature and drop onto the surrounding soil. Over the winter, these seeds undergo natural cold stratification. Come spring, dozens of tiny, vigorous seedlings will sprout up around your original patch. By simply thinning out the extra seedlings or transplanting them where you want extra color, you establish a continuous, self-replenishing cycle that guarantees a full display year after year. Secret 3. Full sun soil temperature hacks. Black-eyed Susans absolutely thrive in full sun, needing at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day to produce deep, vibrant golden petals. However, intense summer heat can bake the upper layers of soil, scorching delicate feeder roots and causing flower buds to drop before opening. The secret here is keeping the root zone cool while the top of the plant bathes in sunlight. Applying a 2 to 3 inch layer of organic mulch, like shredded bark or composted leaves, shields the soil from high temperatures, conserves deep ground moisture, and keeps the plant blooming right through the hottest weeks of summer. Secret 2. Late autumn cutback protocol. Knowing when to clean up your garden in the fall makes a huge difference in how well your perennials survive winter. Cutting back black-eyed Susans too early removes valuable energy that the plant should be storing down in its roots. Instead, wait until the foliage has turned completely brown and died back naturally after a few hard frosts. When you do trim them back, cut the stems down to about 2 or 3 inches above the ground level, leaving the short stubble marks where the crown sits, protecting the base of the plant from physical damage while preventing fungal spores and overwintering pests from hiding out in dead stems. Secret 1. The crown height planting trick. The single most common reason healthy black-eyed Susans suddenly rot and die is planting them too deeply in the soil. The crown, the precise spot where the stems meet the root system, is exceptionally sensitive to excess moisture. When buried under soil or heavy mulch, water gets trapped around the base, causing crown rot that destroys the entire plant from the inside out. The secret is to plant the crown slightly high, sitting about 1/4 to 1/2 inch above the surrounding ground level. Gently slope the soil away from the base so excess water drains out. This simple trick prevents waterlogging, protects the growing points, and guarantees your plants return safely year after year. Applying these 11 simple secrets will ensure your garden is filled with bright, healthy black-eyed Susans every summer. Which of these secrets are you going to try in your garden first? Have you ever had trouble keeping your black-eyed Susans coming back? Let me know in the comments below. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more practical gardening advice. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!